What's up, YouTube? I am currently stalling like shit, because it's like, I'm pretty hesitant on playing Outlast right now. I'm about to start playing Outlast Whistleblower. That game, yeah, that series will be posted on my main channel, ChillinINParis, but I will be playing the main game as well, Outlast. And I also just started Batman Arkham Knight. Those videos, those series will be posted on my new channel, ChillinINParis Gaming. And I'm also starting Telltale Walking Dead, playing that side by side with my little sister, starting tomorrow. And, Batman Arkham Knight, Outlast, the main game, and Telltale Walking Dead. Yep, those will all be going on my new gaming channel, ChillinINParis Gaming. Make sure you sub up. So, yeah. First part of Batman Arkham Knight should be up on there. And also, Outlast. The first part of Outlast should be up on there by tomorrow.
Wrestlers.
But I'm stalling, so we're gonna be, I'm stalling. I just got done finished playing Arkham Knight. Now I just randomly scrolled through Twitch to see who was live, and now I'm watching this WWE Wrestlers with Zero Aura video. Yep.
With Zero Aura.
Yep.
Sure to subscribe in it then.
Can you tell I'm stalling? Even though I literally just admitted that I was stalling 2 seconds ago.
Notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. Number 10, Santos Escobar. When Santos Escobar was first called up to the main roster, there was a ton of excitement amongst fans. Escobar was fantastic in the ring, and there was a firm expectation that the main roster audience would gravitate towards him. Unfortunately, that really hasn't been the case. Escobar's run hasn't been abysmal, but the crowd just isn't connecting with him. WWE have tried to get Escobar over, and this has included faction runs in the LWO and even a feud with the
I ain't gonna hold you though, he really does have no aura for real. Like, I have been peeping him. I ain't gonna lie, Andrade is more impressive than him. And it's kind of crazy how, like, even the fact that I remember Andrade's name and I already forgot this nigga's name. You feel me? And I know they just said it. I know they just said it. But it's crazy how I remember Andrade's name just like that, but not him. That's how you know he really got no aura for real.
Legendary Rey Mysterio. Escobar lacks character and direction.
Escobar, like, come on, bro.
When WWE aired SmackDown in Scotland, every wrestler on the show received a great reaction, but that was the exception of.
They gave you every Okay, yeah, they gave you every no, bro. What am I trying to say here? What am I trying to say? They gave you the stereotypical every Hispanic nigga's last name in the hood, specifically New York's last name, as your first name. Escobar. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Escobar, as the fans couldn't care less. WWE needs to go back to the drawing board when it comes to Escobar and work out a way to make him connect with the crowd, because as things stand, his current presentation just isn't working. Number 9, Carlito. A WWE.
But it's just like, just imagine though, your name is Escobar. Your wrestler name is Escobar. I'm sorry. Kind of racist. Carlito though, yo, he had a very hyped return. But they really fucked up his theme song, bro. I spit in the faces of people who are not cool. It sounded like on some George Lopez type shit, with the drums and the like, bro, shit was fire.
He had every reason in the world to bring back Carlito in 2023. Fans have been crying out for a final WWE run for the former Intercontinental Champion, and his nuclear pop at the 2023 Backlash event was justification for the WWE to offer him another run. It's been clear based on his booking that WWE have had zero idea what to do with him. Carlito was just lingering around other members of the LWO as a babyface, and when he turned on Rey Mysterio, fans hoped that things would change, but nothing has. Carlito lacks credibility.
Now he in Judgment Day.
In his current storyline on Raw, where he's pretending to be a member of the Judgment Day, seems to be like a cheap carbon copy of the R-Truth storyline. There's been rampant criticism aimed
or like some Sami Zayn shit, like being an honorary oos.
At Carlito's in-ring work on social media. Whilst this may seem harsh, his in-ring work just hasn't been up to par, and it's understandable why WWE won't permanently commit to booking him in extended matches. Number 8, JD McDonough. The Judgment Day has been a major success for WWE. The second version of the stable, featuring Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest, took all 4 names to the next level, and nobody could have ever predicted that this stable would get over to the degree that they have. Unfortunately, not everything about the stable has worked. As honorary member, JD McDonough just doesn't cut it. JD has talent, and he can certainly wrestle, but the crowd just isn't invested in him like they are with other members of the faction. This isn't necessarily JD's.
JD, they really don't give a fuck about it. It's just that you literally look like the odd one out, like gang. You know what I'm saying? We got the British dude, we got the Hispanics. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, Finn Balor, he is the odd one out because he's like British or whatever. But it's like, nigga, he can back it up in the ring. People care about his character, and people care about Finn. JD, like my nigga, you have nothing holding you up. You know what I'm saying?
Fault, as his character work and in-ring work has been at the level needed to get over, but something is missing, and it's the element of uniqueness. JD has nothing about him that makes him stand out against other members
Exactly.
of the roster. When the Judgment Day inevitably breaks up, it'll be interesting to see how JD is presented, and it will be in WWE's best interest if they offer a slight repackage to JD with the aim of getting
After the Bloodline, is the Judgment Day the dominant group in WWE right now? After the Bloodline, is it Judgment Day? They do have the tag team titles, and they do have a World Heavyweight Champion. If anything, you can argue that they are the most dominant group in the WWE right now. You can make that argument. The Bloodline got no belts. They got no weight for real to their name. I'm just saying, yeah, y'all be jumping niggas and stuff like that. If anything, y'all just look like thugs. Y'all don't really look like professional. You know what I mean? Y'all don't look like professional superstars. Y'all just look like a gang, for real. Walking around just jumping people. Beating up old men. Beating up the elderly. Like, ooh, y'all so tough. Like, you feel me? What weight do y'all actually hold to y'all name? You feel me? Like, what relevancy do y'all really got? Y'all got no belts. Y'all got nothing to show for it. Y'all just walking around beating up niggas. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, it's like, you know, they really ain't got no weight to their name for real. So, if anything, you can say the Judgment Day is the most dominant faction in the league right now. In the league. In the WWE. It's not a league.
him over with the other main roster audience.
I mean, people do be getting drafted, but it's not a fucking league.
Number 7, Karrion Kross. From the moment WWE brought back Karrion Kross in 2022, it was made clear that Kross was someone the fans were to take seriously. Kross would instantly be presented as main event talent, and his re-debut saw him gate crash a segment between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. A subsequent feud between Kross and McIntyre
Who?
completely flopped, as the matches were incredibly lackluster, yet this didn't stop WWE from giving up their plans to make Kross a major player. Over the 2 past years, Kross has feuded with elite names including the aforementioned McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Rey Mysterio, and AJ Styles. Each of these names is a former world champion, yet none of these have resulted in Kross fully connecting with the crowd. WWE have even given Kross his own faction known as the Final Testament, where the stable features Kross, AOP, and Paul Ellering, yet fans couldn't care less. When SmackDown took place in France, their entrance was met with total silence, which was saying something as the French crowd was labeled as one of the hottest crowds in WWE history. It's hard to determine how to fix Kross, as WWE have given him endless pushes, and every single one of
This guy had chants. France had chants for every wrestler, bro. The one that they have for AJ Styles. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, they were French, so like they were singing it in French. I'm just gonna mimic it for you. They're like, and I forgot the last one, but they were just basically repeating phenomenal. Yeah, and it was very catchy though, more catchier than the chant that they made for Cody.
them has been unsuccessful. Number 6, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. WWE have struggled with booking Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson since their return. They're an established tag team, yet WWE refuses to commit to giving them any actual tag team feud that has anything meaningful. WWE's latest plans with the duo was giving them a run in NXT, as well as repairing them with AJ Styles. The issue with repairing them with AJ Styles is that WWE have done this endless number of times over the years, and the reunion just doesn't hit as strong as it should. The two struggle to get a reaction from the crowd, and a major contributing factor to this non-reaction is a lack of character. The two have zero character outside of being friends with AJ and have prior successful runs in other promotions. This isn't enough for a WWE audience, and the two could be doing so much more if the WWE just invested some creative effort into their booking and personas. Number 5, Jimmy Uso. Jey Uso has become a household name since his dissolvement of the original bloodline. Jey has firmly been accepted as a top guy in—
Oh, Jimmy. Okay, I thought they said Jay. Wait, you mean to tell me Jimmy ain't got no aura for real? Really? Really?
This confirmed every time Jey makes an entrance on TV, as a crowd comes alive. Jey has also been a legitimate draw, as he's often been one of WWE's top merchandise sellers, and he's even the face of certain marketing campaigns such as a 2024 Money in the Bank PLE. But the same can't be said for his brother Jimmy, as over the past year, Jimmy's heel character has been a complete misfire. Jimmy turned on Jey at SummerSlam 2023, and his character motivations were so insanely weak that the fans instantly switched off from anything he did. In the subsequent months, Jimmy just lingered around, and WWE completely stripped away any credence his character had. The eventual payoff to the Uso vs Uso feud was heavily panned, and now WWE are planting the seeds for an Usos reunion and a Jimmy face turn. This is 100% the right move, as Jimmy has been in an awkward, lifeless place since his 2023 heel turn, and WWE—
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, being a heel doesn't really work for Jimmy. He is too goofy for that. You cannot take this nigga seriously. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody who's being a heel, it has to be somebody that you gotta be able to take seriously. And Jimmy don't even take himself seriously, bro. Like, come on, bro. This nigga is so unserious, he cannot be no heel, so come on.
we need to fix it before it's too late. Number 4.
If anything, you could have made Jay the heel, and he probably would have, like, you know, I feel like he probably got the energy for that. Jimmy just too goofy for that, bro.
4. The Pride. The 3 members of the Pride, those being Bobby Lashley—
Unless when they were being heels together, okay. But if one's a heel and one's a babyface, I think, I think Jay would have made a pretty good heel. I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like he got the energy for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he goofy too, but I feel like he got the energy for it. Timmy is just too goofy, bro.
Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford are amongst 3 of the most talented names on the roster, when Lashley is a singles act and when the Street Profits are a tag team.
Okay, I ain't gonna hold you though. I don't know much about her, and I've heard good things about him. And I heard he's like next coming up. I heard this Montez nigga, he like that for real. And I've seen one of his matches. He was flying around like crazy, looking like, I ain't gonna lie, he was looking like a Shelton Benjamin. I ain't gonna hold you. He was giving Shelton Benjamin type shit. And Bobby, you ain't even gotta say much about Bobby, but he was giving me like young Sheldon Benjamin type shit.
They're incredibly over with the audience, yet since the trio grouped up, it's just not been clicking. The trio get a positive reaction, yet the aura of the 3 respective names has drastically been hindered since they formed. WWE wanted the trio to be the top heels on SmackDown, yet this failed, as a crowd didn't want to boo an established name such as Lashley. Their run as a babyface trio has lacked any meaning or substance, and their feud with the Final Testament went on for what seemed like a lifetime, and nobody came out of the feud in a better position when they started. B-Fab joining the faction was likely designed to freshen things up, yet this has done absolutely nothing for the group. B-Fab has very little character, and it's never been fully explained why B-Fab is even linked to the group. It would benefit everyone if the WWE either went in a completely different direction with a faction or decided to break them up. Lashley is a main event star, and Dawkins and Ford can either be reinserted into the tag title hunt as a duo, or they can go their separate ways and carve out their own careers as single stars. Number 3, Shayna Baszler. When Shayna Baszler lost to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania,
I ain't gonna lie, they should also put that Blair girl here. That Blair, whatever her last name is, like her WWE last name. Like, bro, Blair has no aura at all. I am not gonna. Nobody cares about her, bro. Absolutely nobody cares about Blair, okay? I remember Santi Zap talking about oh, she's gonna be like the next Paige. Bro, nah. Nah, my G.
36, everything began to go downhill for the former NXT Women's Champion. Baszler over the past 4 years has been mainly a staple in the women's division, as she's had an endless array of partners, and it's unlikely that Baszler ever receives a singles title run ever again. During her time in NXT, Baszler had a defined aura and she was presented as this unbeatable titan. This hasn't been the case on the main roster, as she rarely wins matches, and if she does win a match, it never leads anywhere significant. The crowd had completely lost interest in investing Baszler, as she's a name that barely receives a pop when she appears, and it'd be a tough task for WWE to revert Baszler back to how she was presented and received during her initial NXT run. Number 2, Shinsuke Nakamura. Between 2017...
They really flopped with him, though. I ain't gonna lie. Shinsuke was really him for real. I'm not gonna lie to you. He had the character, he had the entrance, all that, you know what I'm saying, how, his in-ring ability and stuff like that. I didn't really see how he was on the mic, though.
2018, Shinsuke Nakamura was a name in which WWE were presenting as a total megastar. Nakamura had a strong initial debut on the main roster and even won the 2018 Royal Rumble. When Nakamura turned heel following his loss to AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34, this is when the aura of Nakamura began to fade. Nakamura lost major title match after major title match, and this trend has continued throughout Nakamura's journey on the WWE main roster. Nakamura's latest world title push came in 2023 when Nakamura feuded with Seth Rollins. Whilst Nakamura's work was passable, it was a foregone conclusion that Nakamura wasn't winning the world title. In 2024, Nakamura has only won 1 singles match, which is a shocking statistic. WWE are in a difficult position with him, as his booking has been so flat and lifeless over the past couple of years that even if he ascends to the main event picture once again, not a single fan is going to be convinced that WWE will go all the way with him. It's a sad state of affairs when it comes to the king of strong style. And number 1, Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa has been given the keys to the kingdom in WWE over the past...
Okay. To keep it a buck, though, I feel like he's climbing, though. I feel like he's getting there. Though. How long was this video made? Damn, 2 weeks ago. I still feel like he's getting there. I think 2 weeks ago is still within the time, like, that they attacked Paul Heyman, right? Attacked Paul Heyman. So this has to be after Money in the Bank, right? It has to be after, right? I don't know. This was before they beat Cody, Randy, and KO. Might have been before the Paul Heyman thing. I think it was after. They also, this is definitely before when they jumped Cody and Randy and did them dirty and put. Cody talking about some take me instead, like, nigga, no. Oh my gosh, that was corny. I ain't gonna lie, that was corny. I feel like he's getting up there. I feel like he's getting up there, though. He's not winning no WWE title, though. That's one thing. That's definitely not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen. They're not pulling the trigger on making him a WWE champion. That's not going to happen. I'm telling you that now. That's not going to happen. I see everybody else. Getting a belt, getting some gold. I see Tonga and Jacob becoming tag team champions. I also see Tonga and Jacob. I see them two becoming tag team champions. Or maybe Tonga Lower and Tama Tonga, they could become tag team champions. They could give Jacob his own title. Maybe Intercontinental. Because that would be a cool. But it depends, though. Because, like, I don't think they would bury Braun Breaker like that. Like, have Braun beat Sammy and then put him up against Jacob and then just have him squash him. I don't think. Nah, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. That would be a good match. But that's crazy. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. I don't know. I don't know what title they would give them. But I know they're getting the tag team titles. I know they're getting the tag team titles based off Santi's apps predictions. I can see them being tag team champions. I don't know what singles title that they would be able to get. We'll see.
Past 12 months, Sikoa was given the win of a lifetime when he defeated John Cena at the 2023 Crown Jewel, and now he's rumored to be getting set for a WWE title showdown with Cody Rhodes. Although Sikoa's booking has been strong when it comes to his promo and character work, the same can't be said for his win-loss record. Following his historic win over Cena in 2023, Sikoa went on an extended losing streak as he went for months on end without winning a single match. This was completely baffling and a complete waste of a victory over one of the WWE's biggest names. Sikoa's push has received vast criticism as some believe that Sikoa isn't ready for the big time. This criticism does have some merit, and Sikoa only recently has struggled to receive a noteworthy reaction from the crowd. It also hasn't helped that other members of the Bloodline 2.0 have overshadowed him, and with the insanely talented Jacob Fatu debuting on the main roster, this is only likely to get worse for the son of Rikishi. But there you have it, folks. 10 WWE The worst aura moments in WWE. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Welcome back, fans, for the first time since the outbreak of COVID-19, and it was wonderful to watch a wrestling show in front of fans once again. When Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke made their way down to the ring, Rose had an unfortunate mishap.
Why was she looking around though? Like, did anybody see that? Bitch, like, you're live. Like, what the hell? You're live. You're in front of a whole crowd. Everybody saw. God damn.
As she slipped over the most humorous manner possible. It was made funnier thanks to the fact that Rose was clearly aware that she was about to fall, so she attempted to save herself, but it was far too late. Thankfully, the former NXT Women's Champion was perfectly fine, and Rose's partner reflected on the infamous botch during an appearance on Ring the Bella. It was the first time that we had a live audience in almost 2 years with WrestleMania, and I felt like we were going out there again, and I had no idea Mandy Rose fell, so I'm telling you from my vision and my perspective, right? So we make our entrance, we come to the top of the ramp, we strike a pose, and we start strutting our stuff, and all of a sudden, I hear the audience roar, and I'm like, oh my god, this is electrifying. So I'm like, oh, go Dana, and I'm strutting extra hard, like I'm feeling myself, not even knowing that she had fallen right behind me. Jinder Mahal's hilarious blunder, minus 2,000.
At least they played it off well. You know what I'm saying? You know, wait, like, when you can laugh at yourself, it's alright.
Jinder Mahal was never known for his in-ring work, and in 2018, he delivered one of the worst botches ever seen in WWE, and it took place on a major pay-per-view. At the greatest Royal Rumble event, Jeff Hardy took on Mahal for the US title, and one spot in the match saw Hardy deliver with.
How long ago was this? Jeff Hardy's my favorite high flyer of all time, and I feel like he is the greatest high flyer of all time. Argue with your mother, I don't give a fuck. Like, don't bring up Rey Mysterio to me. He is the most extreme high flyer of all time.
Whisper in the wind. The problem was that Hardy landed about 2 feet away from the former WWE champion. In a moment of sheer panic, Mahal decided to take the bump and act like Hardy.
Nah, that's bad. Nah, this is bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's very bad.
For the US title, and one spot in the match saw Hardy deliver Whisper in the Wind. The problem was that Hardy landed about 2 feet away from the former WWE champion. In a moment of sheer panic, Mahal decided to take the bump and act like Hardy had made complete contact. It was a terrible.
And he missed. Oh my god, you can't do that. You gotta just go with the flow. But hey, man, you're in front of all them people. He panicked. God dang.
Decision from Mahal as the botch looked ridiculous, and it was truly amateur hour for a talent that just a year prior was getting set to be crowned WWE champion. Kane's mask comes off, minus 3,000. In 2018, WWE made the controversial move to book DX versus the Brothers of Destruction on pay-per-view.
Nobody wants to remember this. I'm not gonna hold you. Nobody wants to remember this. This should have never happened. Oh my god. Have they ever had a match like this before, or was this the first time they've ever faced each other? Because maybe, like, bruh, too little, too late. This would have been an amazing match back then. Amazing. 5-star damn near. But, dude. No.
This match would see the legendary Shawn Michaels come out of retirement for a substantial payday, and heading into the match, there was a ton of criticism, and the common consensus amongst the fans was that the match was a terrible idea. Ultimately, the match was somehow worse than anyone could have ever imagined. There were botches left, right, and center, and one botch featuring Kane was more sad than comedic. As Kane and Shawn Michaels were battling in the corner, Kane's mask simply fell off, and awkwardly fell down to the ground. Kane's face was exposed, and although this didn't matter as everyone knew what his face genuinely looked like, it was still ridiculous that his mask wasn't secured to his face. The match was a total and utter disaster, and it's hardly a surprise that the 4 men involved have since distanced themselves from the match completely, with HBK even publicly declaring he regret coming out of retirement altogether. The Great Khali gets confused.
You should've. How much was that bag, though?
Minus 4,000. And for the first few years of the Great Khali's return in WWE, it was clear that WWE and Vince McMahon believed that Khali could be a major star. Khali feuded with names such as The Undertaker, Batista, and even John Cena, and in 2007, he became world champion, which was an indicator that Khali was ready to ascend to the top of WWE. This run flopped mainly because Khali's in-ring work wasn't at the level fans wanted, and even elite names struggled to get a passable match out of him. In the years following his dismal world title reign, Khali would still be used on TV, mainly in comedic roles, and he had so many botches over his tenure that completely dismantled any aura he had. In 2010, on an episode of Raw, Khali and the Talented Edge engaged in an over-the-top rope challenge, and for whatever reason, Khali misunderstood the rules of the match and he proceeded to step over the top rope. This led to a ton of confusion as nobody even knew what to do. Michael Cole was in total disbelief on commentary, and Jerry Lawler tried to save it by saying that Khali had to be thrown over the top rope. Batista trips, minus 5,000. WrestleMania 35 was to be the final match of Batista's.
I mean, honestly, that is a good save, though. You have to be thrown over the top of the rope. I guess that's a good save.
He was going to retire in a featured match against his former mentor Triple H, and just as Batista was culminating his incredible entrance on the grand stage, everything went wrong. As Batista entered the ring, he slipped over. It was incredibly awkward, but it was typical for the WWE great as he was able to recover and act like nothing happened. The Animal has a bizarre habit of delivering hilarious botches over his career, as who can even forget the time he took the funniest bump of all time on Raw in 2010. It was as if Batista was lagging in real time, and it was so incredible to witness. Bobby Lashley is lost.
I remember there was a YouTube video called Batista does a backflip, and it was literally just this clip. I actually thought he did a backflip, bro. Bro.
6,000.
That was a different era of YouTube, for real. Like, bro, this was so long ago.
Even the most seasoned pro wrestlers are prone to botching a segment, and in 2019, Bobby Lashley was completely clueless when it came to what he was supposed to be doing on Raw. The botch in question occurred when Lashley's infamous time as part of the faction alongside Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre. In the segment, Kurt Angle was being beaten down by the trio, but Lashley had zero clue how the segment was scripted to play out. In the spot, Corbin was holding the steel steps, while McIntyre had a hold of Angle. Hilariously, Lashley paced back and forth as Lashley was trying to interpret what he was even supposed to do. The spot was supposed to see Lashley and McIntyre team up to throw Angle into the steps, yet this was clearly far too convoluted for Lashley to understand. Jack Swagger's big moment, minus 7,000. The Money in the Bank ladder match is a match where WWE pinpoints the fans who is next in line for the world title. In 2010, at the final Money in the Bank ladder match to take place at WrestleMania, WWE made the questionable call to go with Jack Swagger as Mr. Money in the Bank. This was a questionable call, mainly because fans weren't exactly pushing for Swagger to move up the card, and whilst his in-ring work was decent, his promo and character work simply wasn't main event material. Nevertheless, when Swagger ascended to the top of the ladder at WrestleMania 26,
I used to tell myself I'm gonna be yo, this is how you know I was immersed in WWE for real. I used to be telling myself I'm gonna become a WWE superstar just so I can beat Jack Swagger in a fight. Like, bro, I used to be telling myself that, gassing myself up and everything. Like, I will become a WWE superstar and I will beat the All-American Jack Swagger. Like, oh my god, I was giving myself promos and all of that shit. Like, nigga, what?
WWE probably hoped that Swagger...
Like, bro, man, I know y'all remember, bro. Like, being 6, 7 years old, this was like our whole life at one point.
Would instantly cement him as a star, and due to Swagger winning a star-studded ladder match, they likely hoped that he would have immediate aura and credibility. Unfortunately for WWE, they were very wrong. The issue was that Swagger was unable to do the briefcase whilst at the top of the ladder. The struggle went on and on and on, and it was so excessively long that WWE were forced to edit most of the pandemonium out of replays of the show. Swagger, once he was eventually able to retrieve the briefcase, would cash in just days later to become world champion, and his struggle with the briefcase would become an omen for what was to become one of the most lifeless world title runs in company history. Stone Cold Steve Austin gets stuck minus 8,000. But when you're WWE's top star, presentation matters. So if the top guy in the company suffers a humiliating botch,
Sunday.
it drastically impacts their aura. At the 1999 SummerSlam event, Stone Cold Steve Austin was defending the WWE title against Mankind and Triple H, and during the match, Austin somehow got his legs stuck in the ropes. Austin was unable to free himself, so he had no choice but to go off script to communicate to Triple H for assistance. The game immediately broke character to help Austin, and it was apparent that both men were finding great humor in the situation. Shane McMahon tears it to drastically impacts their aura. Presentation matters, so if the top guy in the company suffers a humiliating botch, it drastically impacts their aura. At the 1999 SummerSlam event, Stone Cold Steve Austin was defending the WWE title against Mankind and Triple H, and during the match, Austin somehow got his legs stuck in the ropes. Austin was unable to free himself, so he had no choice but to go off script to communicate to Triple H for assistance. The game immediately broke character to help Austin, and it was apparent that both men were finding great humor in the situation. Shane McMahon tears his quad minus 9,000. WrestleMania 39 featured the surprise return of Shane McMahon. McMahon returned to challenge The Miz in an impromptu matchup, and
oh yeah, this was awful. This was awful. Worse than when Vince teared both his quads, but this was awful. Mind you, his son was in the crowd watching. Like, bro, like, is my dad dead? Like, dude.
Whilst it was initially great to see the prodigal son return to WWE programming, any aura surrounding him quickly disappeared. Just seconds into the match with The Miz, McMahon legitimately tore his quad following a leapfrog. The match had to be instantly stopped, but seconds into the match with The Miz, McMahon
like, bro, who did you think you was, gang? Like, who did you think you was, bro? Like, really, bro? How old did you think you still was? This ain't when you, like, you know, you did a trust fall off the top of the Titantron or whatever you did. Like, bro, this ain't them years no more, gang.
legitimately tore his quad following a leapfrog. The match had to be instantly stopped, and McMahon was helped to the back. Tearing a quadriceps just seconds into a match isn't ideal, and the fact that this was a WrestleMania was even crazier. WWE improvised following the injury, and out of nowhere they had Snoop Dogg beat The Miz. This was quick thinking by WWE, and the immediate turnaround following McMahon's injury highlighted just why WWE is the biggest wrestling company in the world. And Titus World Slide minus 10,000. All fans could focus on.
This was the #1 negative aura slide. I mean, or negative 1,000 aura moment I've ever seen, though. Like, dude, how do you slide? Like, bro, how does your entire body go under the ring? And I know while he was underneath it, he was like, fuck, but I can't just stay here. I can't just stay here. We got to keep it going. The show got to go on.
Following the greatest Royal Rumble in 2018 was Titus O'Neil's iconic botch. As O'Neil entered the Rumble match, he slipped and fell under the ring, and it was so unbelievable that for a moment WWE fans assumed it was scripted, but then it became apparent that O'Neil had legitimately slipped. WWE replayed the entrance slip-up multiple times, and it was widely reported that former WWE chairman Vince McMahon was crying with laughter backstage, and he was the one demanding to see the footage again and again and again. In an interview with Fightful, the man behind the botch revealed that he's not remotely embarrassed by the incident. No, I'm not. It's one of those things that in life, much as a lot of stuff that happened in my life, I tell people all the time, I fell down and got back up so many times. I'm still alive and well to tell this story, and I'm an entertainer at the end of the day, so I don't really have anything to be embarrassed about. What would you guys think of these aura moments?
As long as you guys got a good laugh, I did my job. Hold on, make sure I stop the recording and stuff. Hey, you know, YouTube? Bye.